Success doesn't explode. It whispers. It doesn't come from motivation. It comes from repetition. And you won't hear applause, not at the start. Just silence. Stillness. And your own quiet decision to begin. There's a story told in thousands of forms, but lived by only a few. The story of someone who didn't wait for a sign. Didn't wait for January. Didn't wait for motivation or for someone to believe in them. They started small. Without noise. Without urgency. Without recognition. They chose one quiet habit and gave it everything. And slowly, everything around them began to change. This story could be yours. But only if you realize this truth early. You do not become successful. You become what you do. Daily. The story. There was a man who worked in silence. He wasn't famous. Not yet. He grew up on a farm. Ordinary. Poor. Unknown. But something in him was restless. He began waking up earlier. Not for the world, for himself. He read books while others slept. He wrote down goals before ever knowing how to reach them. He studied success like someone studies survival. He didn't complain. He didn't wait for a raise. He worked on himself every day. That man was Jim Rohn. Later in life, he said, "If you want to have more, you must become more. And to become more, you must do more. And to do more, you must begin before you're ready." He was paid millions to speak. But what built him wasn't a stage. It was the silent 5 a.m. hours when no one was watching. Across the world, there was another boy, skinny, insecure, full of doubt. But one night, he stood in front of a mirror and told himself he would become the best. Not by luck. Not by fame. But by writing his own dream on paper and acting like it already happened. He kept that note in his wallet for years. That boy was Jim Carrey. Before the world laughed at his jokes. He spent years in isolation, training his mind to believe. He wasn't waiting for success, he was becoming it. One routine at a time. These stories are not rare. They're just often ignored. Because repetition isn't glamorous. Stillness isn't sexy. But they work. Always. The truth. No one will clap when you stretch instead of scrolling. No one will cheer when you choose water over wine. No one will see you writing at 5 a.m., or skipping the party, or meditating in silence. But those quiet decisions? They shape everything. You don't become powerful in public. You become powerful in private. Small disciplines, repeated daily, build unstoppable strength. And the people you admire most? They are not special. They just built invisible habits and never stopped. So today, ask yourself a different question. Not, what can I achieve this year? But, what one thing can I do daily, without fail, that would make everything else easier or unnecessary? Do that. Even when it's boring. Even when it's silent. Even when no one's watching. Because that's where the real you begins to rise. Maybe no one will clap today. But one day, your life will. Because success is not an event. It's not a moment. It's a rhythm. A quiet one. Subscribe if you're building your future in silence. We rise together, one quiet decision at a time.